Good evening, ma'am. I'm June MAGARSO and I am the second reporter from the group. So there are the topics that cover my report. Number one, creating data gathering strategy and proposing approach, diagnostic and feedbacks, diagnosis, discovery, assessment, analysis, and interpretation, finding patterns with analysis data. So this time we'll talk about creating data gathering strategies and proposing an approach. There are many considerations to gathering data. Also, there are disadvantages and advantages. And the consultant must balance several criteria. So there are 5 criteria. Number 1, investment required. The company and the contractors considered the time and money spending the research just collect data and for the analysis. Pero kahit na mas mabilis mag-gather ng solution sa problema by one-on-one interview, still the whole process it takes more time. Number 2, access. Mostly the customer does not want to consultant to have access to the data, or it may not be possible. It is impossible to interview an organizational member due to work schedule, travels, or holidays. The company policy may prohibit the usage of personal information or deny external consultant access to financial or technical data. Of course, may privacy din ng mga client. That's why mahirap kumuha ng access at hindi basta-basta. Number 3, relevance to the problem. Hindi basta-basta ma-point out or ma-solve ang problema kasi yung survey nila, it is not accurate sa mga employees. That is why each method of data collection chosen must be suitable to the problem described by the client. The selected strategy should be used since it is more likely to produce accurate, the helpful information about the topics and it is core problem. So number 4, from accuracy. From the word accurate or correct, exact, precise, and right. Most consultants have less chance of obtaining the high credible data because of the unfair share and collecting data. The potential to collect the reliable information from a certain approach varies depending on the situation and the relationship between the consultant and the client and the business representative. Number 5, flexibility. Flexibility, or other words from that, are changeable or easy to adapt. Some approach allow the consultant to be more versatile in following on a specific issue of concern or items that occur during data collection. A survey. For example, it is impossible to add extra follow-up question until it is designed and implemented. Interviews are more adaptable than other types of interviews since consultant can change the question through the session. But how consultant choose among the 5? Consultant will have work with what they can afford. Mixing it with another could be a good idea, combining various approaches to produce the most accurate result. For example, in survey via interview, members of the company will join to help to interpret the findings. So, mas okay yun kung si consultant mo ato sa company and then mag one-on-one interview siya sa employees para matubag yun ang exact na pangutana. And we should remember that combining methods and procedure used to gather the same issue from the different angle can also help to strengthening interpretation and make it more persuasive in the eye of the client. To secure valid conclusion regarding the trends, factors, and causes of organizational process, team and individual performance, in almost all cases, it's required to use more than one data gathering methods. So this chart below can be useful choosing approach. Below you will see data collection methods, and it's showing the greatest amount of useful information on the problem. The consultant should choose only those that seems most important to the client problem and that meet the 5 requirements method above. So, a chart like this one will concentrate the effort of data collection by requiring the consultant to maintain focus, concentration on the client. It is used as well as being clear about the reason for the data collection approach. So here's the gathering data approach. Facts from client description of problem. New employees do not process insurance claims as quickly as experienced employees. Possible interpretation or reason. Employees do not learn the process of accurately. Data needed. As new employee about their orientation, experience, and training. Best suited methods. Interview. Facts from client description of problems. Sales figure in Midwest are significantly lower than East or West region. Possible interpretation. Salespeople in Midwest make fewer sales than in other region. Data needed. Gather revenue per employee. Data each region for past 3 quarters. Best suitable method. Obtrusive measure. This chart below is the advantage and disadvantage of the data gathering methods. So methods, interview. Advantages niya is may prompt interviewers to be more forthright in personal environment. Interview can follow up on information issued and explore situation in depth. More informational ay more personal than surveys o focus groups. Consultant can be captured, example, and coached effectively. Interview may reveal new issues. Disadvantage niya is time and data intensive. It may interviewer are to be conducted, potentially expensive. Report must be established. Interviewers must trust interviewer. Give only the interviewer's perspective. Interviewers may unwittingly encourage certain response. Bias analysis can be time consuming. Hanap man ma'am eh. Focus groups. Advantage niya is may save time compared to individual interviews. Access to many people at once. Those can be more efficient in getting information than interviewer. Group can be built on one another through simulating thinking. Disadvantage niya, potential for group thinking for the people to go along with one of view to avoid conflict. Confidential issue may not be discussed with peers. A few members may dominate the groups. Method survey questionnaire. Advantages. Data for many people can be gathered at once. Can take a short amount of time. Allow a broad range of topics to be addressed. Data can be qualified and compared across groups. Can repeat survey to show difference over time. Ang disadvantage niya is data analysis can be intensive, may require statistically knowledge beyond the capability of the consultant, difficult to follow up in depth on a single issue. Response rate may be low or may bias the result. Respondent may give socially desirable answer. Ito ma'am sa and then diagnosis and feedbacks. Organizational developments, or OD, practitioner deal with a huge amount of data from interview, focus groups, survey, observation, and other data. The main objectives of the diagnostic and feedbacks phase of the OD process to answer the simple question. So what is going on here? Diagnosis, discovery, assessment, analysis, and interpretation. So now we'll discuss how consultants analyze and interpret data, arrive at conclusion that can be feedback to the client. Just like a doctor, to diagnose a patient, you go through interview, consultation, assessment, labs, and tests. So to interpret the illness. And the purpose of diagnosis is not just to provide information, but also encourage action, treatment for response. It is during the evaluation and feedback process that specialists that client are developing a more detailed and comprehensive view of the issue. Perceptions that up to this stage has been only partial for the client. So, do you know what the practitioners often make two important diagnostic error? These are number one, they take diagnosis as an event, not a procedure. Diagnosis is not one time occurrence. It is not decision to be drawn in single day, but rather the collection of tentative assumptions on what normally happen to be modified as the organization evolves. Diagnosis must be there when the company is changing because of data are emerging. Number two, they make mistake of shouldering diagnostic burden one-handedly. Many OD practitioners tend to include client in diagnosis process or even client teams. Diagnosis is most effective when the practitioner can be establish a mechanism in which the client can engage the creation of the specific collection of conclusion. A number of interrelated actions as stated below make up diagnostic phase. The following section go into a deeper depth on each. Number one, analyze the data, including sorting them into key themes. The consultant must summarize the point from the data and interpret them. The consultant will search for organized common patterns in the data, a way that helps client understand the issue. Pangit naman kung bibigyan mo ng maraming research paper collection without analysis. Number two, interpret the data. The consultant's job is to both present the promote the information, perceptual understanding, and its implication. Number three, prioritize the right issue that will energize the client. Almost all data collection effort will result in long list of issue, questions, and contributing issues, some of which will only be marginally related to the current issue. Client will inspired to focus on the specific set of the problems that needed to be addressed with a reduced list of proposed activities. If the most energetic ones are chosen, because not all of the issues are important or related to the issue. The consultant will assess the client and determining which issue are more relevant others. Finding patterns by analyzing data. It is probably heal their attitude to take and least stressful process to follow when the OD practitioner admit to never being able to know as much about the organization as the client themselves. Says Shin, data analyzation techniques are usually derived from two rational data reasoning methods. Number one, deductive process. Analyze applies general principle to given situation. Inductive process. Analyze reasons for producing general concept or hypothesis from the finding or the data. And the difference of these two are deductive data analysis approach includes the use of organizational model or hypothesis, behavior change, and human experience to help organize and analyze the data. And inductive process consists of reading and sorting out key themes from the raw data to create them. But our traditional method is statistically sample analysis and questionnaire. And that's all, ma'am. Thank you.